Hades, the literal god of the dead, once allowed someone to walk into the underworld, take his three-headed guard dog, and leave. Not metaphorically, literally. Which raises the question, how intimidating can the ruler of the dead really be if people keep checking out of his kingdom as if it was a bad hotel? Welcome to Greek mythology, where even the afterlife has severe management problems. Modern stories love to turn Hades into a villain, dark, brooding, power-hungry. But the original myths? Much messier. Because beneath the crown and the rivers of souls, Hades keeps getting outplayed. So here are the 5 most embarrassing things about the god of the underworld. Number 5. People kept walking out of his kingdom. The underworld is supposed to be permanent. One way in, no way out. That's the whole concept. Except Heracles walked in, walked out, Orpheus walked in and almost walked out with his wife, Sisyphus escaped twice. Granted, Theseus got stuck for a while, but still managed to make it out alive. If you rule the place everyone goes when life ends, and mortals keep slipping past your borders, that's not terrifying, that's a genuine security problem. Hades couldn't even keep his own kingdom in check. I mean, how hard can it be to look after a bunch of dead people? Number 4. He abducted Persephone and still suffered. Hades saw Persephone. He wanted her. So he did what Greek gods often did. He abducted her. To make it seem official, he declared her queen of the underworld. A bold move, until her mother found out. Demeter, the goddess of agriculture, froze the entire planet in protest. Crops died, humans starved, the gods started panicking, and suddenly, the feared ruler of the dead was negotiating custody terms with his younger brother Zeus. 6 months Persephone stays, 6 months she leaves. Winter exists because Hades couldn't secure a full-time relationship. The king of eternal darkness, on a seasonal arrangement with love. Number 3. A mortal shut down his entire operation. Sisyphus wasn't strong, he wasn't divine, he was just clever. When death came to collect him, Sisyphus tricked him and chained him, which created a small problem. No one else could die, anywhere. Hades' entire system stopped. Imagine ruling the realm of the dead, and one guy with rope and brains stops your entire operation. Eventually, the gods had to intervene. The king of inevitability outmaneuvered by a con man. To top it all off, what was Hades' grand punishment? Making Sisyphus push a rock uphill forever. Number 2. He let someone borrow Cerberus. Heracles' final labor? Bring back Cerberus from the underworld, the three-headed hound, guardian of the underworld, symbol of Hades' supreme authority. Basically, the ultimate security system. So instead of going through the hassle, Heracles asked permission, and Hades said yes, under one condition: no weapons allowed. So Heracles wrestled the three-headed monster, put it over his shoulder, and walked out of the underworld with it. Yes, eventually Cerberus was returned, but that's not really the point. The king of the dead approved someone temporarily removing his guard dog. Imagine Zeus lending out thunderbolts for the weekend. Exactly. Number 1. He got shot. Heracles once walked into the underworld, alive, which is already bad news for the god in charge of keeping dead people there. But things got worse, because at some point during that visit, Heracles did something almost no mortal should even attempt. He attacked Hades. And according to one version of the myth, he didn't miss. Heracles shot him with an arrow. The god of the dead, wounded, bleeding, forced to retreat from his own kingdom. And where does the ruler of the underworld go when he needs medical attention? Olympus, to his siblings, to be healed. Imagine ruling the place every mortal eventually ends up and still having to go upstairs so your family can patch you up. For the god of the dead, that's a surprisingly mortal problem. So yes, despite all that, Hades is powerful. No question. He rules the one destination every human eventually shares. But Greek mythology never treats its gods as perfect tyrants. It treats them more like flawed administrators. The king who couldn't keep his wife all year round, whose borders are surprisingly flexible, whose entire system once got shut down by a con man, who let someone borrow his guard dog, and who was once wounded by a mortal hero. Because power doesn't always mean control. Sometimes it just means you're in charge when things go wrong. And in Hades' case, things tend to go wrong a lot.